On the early morning of December 13, 2022, a series of events unfolded inside a modest trailer in Cherokee County, North Carolina, that would eventually challenge official police statements and reshape public trust. It all started with a neighbor's phone call. A woman named Emily Floyd contacted emergency services, reporting loud noises that she described as fireworks, intense arguing, and what she believed could be gunshots coming from the home of Jason Clower. She warned dispatchers that Jason could be threatening his wife, Allie, and suggested that a hostage situation might be taking place. Although none of these claims were confirmed at the time, deputies from the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office responded to the scene, but initially failed to make contact. Instead of pausing to verify the neighbor's information, investigators moved quickly toward escalation. At around 2:15 a.m., a search warrant was secured, based largely on the unverified report, citing alleged threats and the possibility that Jason was armed. Despite the absence of a formal mutual aid agreement, the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indian Police Department SWAT team was called in to assist. By early morning, the trailer was completely surrounded by heavily armed officers. Disturbingly, a robotic surveillance device equipped with a camera and microphone was thrown into the home while Jason and Allie were asleep, completely unaware that their house had been turned into the center of a tactical operation. At approximately 4:54 a.m., officers used a loudspeaker to order Jason to come outside with his hands visible. What happens next was captured clearly by Jason's own interior surveillance camera. The footage shows Jason opening the door and stepping onto the porch, fully complying with the officer's commands. Both of his hands are raised. One hand holds a cigarette, while the other holds the police robot that had just been thrown into his living space. Allie can be seen standing directly behind him in the doorway, also raising her hands to show she is unarmed. There is no sudden movement, no aggressive gesture, and no sign of resistance. Yet, within seconds, the officers open fire. Jason is struck multiple times in the chest and arm, collapsing immediately and shouting that he has been shot. As Allie screams in shock, demanding to know why they fired, the camera captures a scene of pure panic and fear, but absolutely no threat. As Jason lies bleeding on the ground, repeatedly stating he does not have a weapon, officers rush past him and storm into the trailer with weapons drawn. For several critical moments, Jason's life-threatening injuries are ignored while the home is secured. He was eventually transported to a hospital and managed to survive. In the hours that followed, the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office released a public statement claiming Jason had confronted officers and was armed during the encounter. Based on this official narrative, Jason was charged with communicating threats and resisting officers. But months later, when the surveillance footage finally became public, the official story began to unravel. The video directly contradicted claims that Jason was armed or confrontational, making it impossible to deny what had actually happened. Faced with the undeniable CCTV evidence, prosecutors quietly dropped all charges in March of 2023. In a sworn affidavit, District Attorney Ashley Welch stated that investigators had misled both her and the magistrate judge, falsely portraying the situation as a hostage crisis. Despite these chilling findings, a special prosecutor declined to bring criminal charges against any of the officers involved. In February 2024, Jason reached a $10 million settlement, though no agency admitted wrongdoing. It stands as a dark reminder that sometimes the most powerful witness is a silent camera recording the truth exactly as it unfolds. Shortly after midnight, on January 1st, 2026, a Ring doorbell camera in Bermuda captured a chilling scene unfolding under the cover of darkness. The footage shows three masked individuals silently approaching the front door of a residential home. In the video, the hooded figures can be seen huddling together on the porch, testing the doorknob, and then attempting to pry or force the door open using brute strength and what appears to be a set of tools. The camera provides a disturbing close-up view of the suspects lingering right outside the door, repeatedly shaking the handle and pushing against the frame. The suspects appear to be highly coordinated, with one individual keeping watch while the others desperately work on gaining entry. Fortunately, the home's reinforced door managed to hold, and after several minutes of failed efforts, the masked figures eventually abandoned the attempt and fled the property. The homeowners, who were likely alerted by the camera's notifications or the noise outside, remained safe inside without ever coming face to face with the intruders. Police in Bermuda reviewed the clear footage as part of an ongoing investigation into a string of similar incidents involving criminals targeting homes, but the masked suspects remain unidentified. On the evening of July 6, 2022, West Yorkshire police were combing through a stretch of wasteland in Bradford, England, desperately searching for a high-risk missing person. A 20-year-old woman named Somaya Begum had been last seen in late June, and with each passing hour, hope for her safe return grew quieter. Officers focused their attention on an area notorious for illegal dumping, looking carefully through gaps in walls and fencing. When one officer spotted a narrow opening and peered through, something immediately felt wrong. A carpet had been tightly wrapped around a large object and bound with clean new string. As investigators moved closer, they were hit by an unmistakable smell. Boxes of rotting food and rubbish had been deliberately placed on top of the carpet, as if someone had tried to disguise what lay beneath. When the carpet was pulled back, officers made the tragic discovery of a badly decomposed body, later confirmed to be Somaya. Somaya was a biomedical science student and a part-time carer who was fiercely proud of her independence. Her home life, however, had been deeply troubled. In 2020, she had taken the brave step of going to the authorities to obtain a forced marriage protection order. After moving in with her grandmother and her uncle, Dude Khan, she finally gained the freedom she had long been denied. On June 25, 2022, CCTV footage captured Somaya walking home after a late shift just after midnight. The following afternoon, she sent a message to a close friend, but when the friend replied hours later, the message did not deliver. Growing concerned after calls went unanswered, the friend contacted Somaya's family, only to learn a missing person report had already been filed. Back at her home, Somaya's uncle noticed her front door had been left unlocked, something she never did. Inside, he found Muhammad Khan, another relative who had a restraining order preventing him from being there due to past abusive behavior. When police began tracing movements through nearby CCTV cameras, a disturbing timeline emerged. Footage placed Muhammad at the house on the afternoon of June 25th. Chillingly, audio from the nearby cameras captured raised voices and a tense exchange. Around that exact same time, Somaya's phone activity stopped completely. Investigators later found footage showing Muhammad removing what appeared to be a heavy item from his car and dragging it away. On June 27th, Muhammad was arrested. Searches near his shipping container home revealed a smoldering bin containing Somaya's partially burnt mobile phone, and forensic tests matched bloodstains found in the living room to Somaya. In court, Muhammad was found guilty of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment, leaving the community with a haunting reminder of how fragile safety can be, even in the place that should feel like home. On a quiet Sunday afternoon in 2018, an emergency call broke the stillness of a Shrewsbury neighborhood. A DPD delivery van had been targeted, and the driver was lying on the ground. When police and paramedics arrived on the scene, they found Arman Singh beside his van, badly injured and barely conscious. Despite rapid medical efforts, Arman was pronounced dead at 1:44 p.m. With no direct witnesses, no clear suspects, and a growing sense that this was not a random act of violence, detectives turned to the silent observers mounted on nearby buildings. The neighborhood's field TV cameras revealed Arman sitting in his van only moments before the attack, calm and completely unaware of what was about to happen. It would be the last known image of him alive. But the cameras captured something even more unsettling. Nearly an hour before the assault, two vehicles, a gray Audi and a white Mercedes, arrived on the street and lingered. They didn't park briefly or pass through, they simply waited. When the DPD van finally appeared on the street, the CCTV footage shows the Audi following closely behind it. Seconds later, the Mercedes begins to move as well. The timing of the vehicles was precise and highly coordinated. Immediately after the fatal attack, both vehicles were seen leaving the area and heading out of town, although one of the cars was later discovered abandoned on Kingston Road with a cold engine. There was no sign of its occupants, leaving investigators to piece together a deadly choice that unfolded faster than anyone expected.